motherfucker.
Welcome back again. How are you guys doing? Today, the topic on hand is going to be frames per second. Those glorious FPSs that we have all been looking for all our lives. And the main reason we have jumped into the PC community is to indulge ourselves in those 60 frames. But what you need to think about and what we need to discuss is, do we need it? Is it a necessity while gaming? Is 60 frames per second to live for or to die for? What do we need to do with these fucking frames? It's just been a circulation that has been going around the internet since the start, and everybody has their own opinion on this. Like everything in the fucking world, it has an opinion. Everybody has a fucking opinion. But today, I'm going to give you my insight. So welcome back to Random Ramblings. Hope you guys enjoy. Alright, so basically, we're going to be talking about frames per second. Is it necessary to have those 60 frames or even above, for that case, to hit those 80, maybe even the triple digits to 100 frames per second? Is it really... do you need it? Right? Do you need those frames? And to me, not really. Right? I've been gaming on my laptop, which you guys can see in the setup video. It's the Toshiba. I've been gaming on that for about 2 years now. And I can hit, on medium settings for a game like Battlefield 4, I can hit around 60 frames per second on medium adjusted settings. So that's some quality on low and most of them on medium. That's what I mean by adjusted. So I've been hitting 60, average 55, so I'm going to call it 60 frames per second. But to me, I would rather the game look really nice and have that nice beauty to it and play at high to ultra settings, high adjusted, ultra adjusted settings, and get those 30 frames per second, right? Because I like to see the game looking nice and looking pretty and all that, whilst I enjoy the gameplay, the campaign, even the multiplayer. Right, that's just me. When I ask other people, they're like, I would rather see on the edge of my fraps meter for it to say 60 while gaming on low settings. And I just don't understand people sometimes. I really can't tell the difference from 30 to 60 frames per second sometimes. It just really doesn't show that much. Maybe it's a monitor issue, maybe it's a PC issue. I really don't know why, but it just really doesn't affect me that much. Now, I have seen people jumping from console gaming to PC, gaming, the platform change, and they splash out so much money on PCs just so they can hit that 60 frame per second mark. And I asked them why, and they're just like, well, that's the whole point of PC gaming, isn't it? And to think about it, yes, it is a part of it. In fact, to some people, it's a majority of PC gaming, but there's so much more that you can do with it. It's to indulge yourself in those nice settings and that nice textures in those nice high ultra settings. It's not to get those 60 frames per second per se. I mean, honestly, I would rather game, like I said, at 30 frames per second and game on ultra than to game on low to medium and get 60. I really don't know why people sell their PlayStation 4s and their Xbox Ones and their 360s and their PS3s and so on to go and spend £600, £700 to £1,000 on a gaming PC because they want that 60, right? People buying GTX 980s, GTX 970s, GTX 780s, GTX Titans, people buying i7 33 30Ks, people buying fucking i5 processors and all this stuff. And if you ask them what it's for, is it for editing? Is it for video editing, photo editing? Are you building a game? What are you doing with it? Are you running really high-tech softwares? No, it's to hit 60 frames on Crysis 3 or Battlefield 4 or Hardline or whatever they're doing, And I don't blame people. I mean, it is very nice to see that counter on the side of your monitor saying 60 frames per second when you open fraps for it to be like, boom, motherfucker, I'm giving you 60, right? That is very nice and that really does make you feel special. But for fuck's sake, feeling special does not mean you have to go splash out 60, 70 fucking God damn it. What I'm trying to say is, I've been able to game. I'm going to tell you what I was gaming on years and years ago. Really long time ago. 5 years ago maybe, I was gaming on an 8600 GT with a Pentium D processor and 2 GB of RAM, and I was getting about 25 frames per second on low on a game like Battlefield Bad Company. I was getting around 30 frames per second on a game like FIFA. I was getting about 25 to 30 frames per second on other Battlefield and Call of Duty games like Call of Duty 4. I was getting 30 frames per second on low and about medium texture. Now, what I'm trying to say is, to enjoy PC gaming, you don't need a high build. That build I had back then cost about £75. I literally put it together, brand new prices that is. I put that together from pieces I had in a PC, like old PCs I had laying around. I took out the graphics card, the CPU, the RAM, and I just put that together to make a decent gaming computer for myself. Like I'm saying, guys, to actually enjoy PC gaming, you don't need to go out and splash grand upon grand upon grand on cash to enjoy it, right? You can honestly sit back and build a PC for like £100, second-hand parts, just put them together, research the parts, go to a local technician and say, hey, can you put this together for me? He will do the job. You pay him about £25, and that's it. For £100, for £125, you can actually enjoy PC gaming. But to some people, that is unacceptable. But everybody has their own opinion. That was my opinion. I hope you guys did enjoy this episode of Random Ramblings. Do you guys think you need to splash out on the cash to improve your perception of gaming? If you do think so, drop a comment down below. A like will always be appreciated. And if you did really enjoy our stuff, drop a subscribe and we'll keep posting. See you guys later.